9. Well, a great big howdy doody hound dog to ya. A great big duty hound dog to ya. A great big howdy doody hound dog to ya. Oh, it lets me go in there, but not to the other one, huh? There you go. Get that one off of there. Uh, sun's coming out today, nice and bright. So that's good. It is January 20. January 20, and I'm trying to pull my channel up here. It's not letting me pull it up for some strange, odd reason. Okay, so let me come in here and go over to live. Well, that's strange. Let me redo this. That's showing up differently too. Okay, hold on. I'll turn off the heater here in a minute. Everybody rock and roll the place. There, that's the way it's supposed to look. Okay. Okay, so let me put that right there to monitor myself. There. It's all makeshift. Put on my toupee. Okay, so first of all, you know the drill. That's my Facebook page. That's my Facebook page right there. And okay, if you do Google search on some of the stuff that I've been telling you, Google and AI are lying. Okay? And so you have to be diligent in your search when you're searching on Google, because they're straight out lying. Okay? And I can prove it to you. Okay? In just a second here. Okay. So, you know that I said that oppression is the worst form of violence. Okay? And if you watch this documentary, you'll see who the biggest oppressor is. It's called America, Freedom to Fascism. It's a documentary by Aaron Russo. Okay? So, I said to watch this documentary. It's all over YouTube at the moment. And I said, now, if you're really smart, you know, these smart college girls, smart college guys, and they're academic, and you don't believe it, then for those people, I said, read the book, and I know I forgot to write island on here. Read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island by Dr. G. Edward Griffin. Okay? The Creature from Jekyll Island, and you will be a believer. I also said, if you're not super smart, don't even look at the book, okay? You're not going to like it. That's what I said. Okay. If you go in and you ask Google about this stuff, it's going to lie to you, okay? Because I asked it. I asked it a bunch of things, and I had to narrow it down. And I said, who pays more taxes? Rich people or poor people? And it says, rich people pay the majority of taxes. That is a freaking lie. Okay? Kevin Trudeau was telling the people about this. Okay? The majority of taxes are paid by the poor people. And so I checked it, and I asked, how much money does Amazon pay? And it gives you a whole big old freaking rundown. They pay this and this and say this. You can't even understand what the hell they're saying. And so I said, how much capital gains did Jeff Bezos make last year? And he made $650 billion last year. Or $65 billion, one or the other. And so I said, how much taxes did he pay last year? Okay? 3.57%. That's 10 times less than what the poor people are paying. Okay? Let me see, just to make sure. It's, how much is it? 805. 805. See, I could check real quick. I think it's roughly $50. Hold on. 800. 800 divided by 16. I can't figure it out right now. It'll take too long. But that's straight bull crap. It's about 10 times. The poor people pay 10 times more. So AI and Google are freaking lying about this crap. Any of this controversial stuff, it's lying. It cannot be trusted. And so, let me get on with this program here. So, I tested, tasted. Hello, people in the comments. Thank you for leaving comments. I so much appreciate it. My honor is with you. I know I just made that up myself. Okay. I gotta take that out of here before it spills all over the place. Let me move it out of here. I'm gonna set it right here for right now. Okay. So I tried the root beer. You know, I was telling you about the root beer. In 1960, the root beer changed. This root beer costs $2. It's called Poppy. It's at Walmart, but it's by the liquor. Okay, it's they got the sodas over here, and then on the other side, the next aisle, they have these, and that's the liquor aisle. Whiskey, vodka, wine, beer. That's where they have this at. Okay, it should be by the sodas. And so I told you that in 1960 root beer changed. Root beer is actually has some good stuff. It's got burdock root. I'm crazy about burdock root. This is a Chinese herb. It's used a lot in China. It's a cleansing herb. Detox. Licorice root is awesome. I think in China it's called bangao. Okay? Because I used to go to a Chinese herbalist. And but all that stuff is not in here now. And so anyway, I was telling you about the root beer, how in 1960 it changed. And the FDA said, because they used to use sassafras and sarsaparilla. And it turns out that I think it's, I don't know which one, I get them mixed up. You can check online. Sarsaparilla is actually a tree. Okay, in Northern America, they use the root from the sarsaparilla tree. Anyhow, saffron and sarsaparilla, one of them has this stuff called saffrol in it. So in 1960, the FDA, and you know how they're freaking bogus, right? They're the strong arm. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. They try to be sneaky, but they're the strong arm of the multi-billion-dollar national corporations. The FDA. If you don't believe me, read the FDA's Crimes Against Humanity by Elaine Foyer, and you'll find out who these people are. Okay? And so hold on. Okay. So in 1960, and you should feel cheated because root beer is supposed to be good, and some people still make it homemade with sarsaparilla and saffron. I'm going to be searching for it. Okay? Anything, like I told you, anything that's good, they will F it up. They took out those herbs and they put in their natural flavors, which are not natural flavors, they're chemicals. Hopefully they'll change this labeling because it's getting very complicated to explain this stuff. When the FDA allowed these multi-billionaires to call these chemicals bullcrap, let them call it natural flavors. Is it any wonder we're a bunch of freaking dodo birds in the United States? Look at them. They're all obese, big freaking Dumbos because they poison the food supply doing this kind of crap. Okay, so in 1960, the FDA told these people, take this stuff out of it because it's causing this and it's causing that, a bunch of bull crap, right? And we found it, we did laboratory tests on it, and so we're doing it for the good of the public. Take the sassafras out of it. A natural herb that the freaking hillbillies have been using for ages for colds and whatever, right? Sassafras, saffron. The hillbillies like Jed, remember Aunt, what was her name on the hillbillies? The Granny. Granny knew all that stuff. Remember she come out, she'd dress like a doctor. She knew all the stuff about the herbs. They've been using sassafras forever. The FDA comes out here and says, you take that out of the stuff. Why? Because saffron is used to make ecstasy. MDMA ecstasy, a controlled substance. So the DEA comes over here, the Drug Enforcement Agency. They come over and they say, beware, beware of who you're selling this stuff to, because they could be making MDMA ecstasy. Why? Because they're the ones making it. Right? They don't want nobody cutting into it. And why do you think they got rid of Mexican Padilla over in San Antonio, Texas? He went over there and filmed up these bozos. And look how fast they got rid of that and got rid of Mexican Padilla. When I told the people, watch how fast they get rid of him. Okay? And Mexican Padilla was a First Amendment auditor. Okay? And so this soda that's available right now, they took out all the freaking sugar. Okay, they're cleaning up. This is being sold as a health, and I tried it for you, and I was surprised. It actually tastes like root beer. Okay, and it's got probiotics, and it's got herbs in it, and it's got real sugar, not fake ass sugar, not the white sugar. It uses, they call it cane sugar, but I think it'd be real nice if they'd use raw coconut sugar. But cane sugar is light years better than sugar, what they call sugar. That's white sugar, ultra processed sugar. It's not freaking sugar. It's what it is freaking pure sucralose, and your body doesn't know what to do with it. The sucralose has to be balanced with fructose or something like this. I'm not an expert, but it has to be balanced in order for your body to process and recognize it. Otherwise, it freaking knocks it into next week, and you get people freaking all jacked up, right? So why haven't they been using the good stuff all along? Because they've been poisoning your ass. Okay, so they're cleaning it up with this one, and the ingredients are sparkling water, where if you get the crappy crap, the first thing that you're going to see is high fructose corn syrup. The most product that's in here is listed first and such all the way down, okay? So what does that tell you? Okay? And it's got cassava root fiber, organic cane sugar, okay? Natural flavors. Now that's probably going to have to get taken out of there, because we don't want no surprises. Okay, they need to get rid of this natural flavors out of everything, because it's chemical stuff. It's not natural flavors. The FDA let these multi-billion-dollar companies say it's natural flavors for chemical garbage. This is a freaking crime. That's an outright freaking lie. It's not natural flavors. Okay? So that has to go. But it does use some apple juice, okay? Which is good, because that can sweeten it too. Because apple juice has a lot of natural sugars in it. Apple juice, organic apple cider vinegar. So that's pretty cool. Organic. Okay, now here's where it goes south. Why do they have to add more sweeteners? It's already got freaking sugar in it. Okay? It's already got freaking apple juice in it. Why in the hell are you going to throw agave in there and freaking stevia? Okay? This shit needs to go. And if you do research on agave is not too bad, right? It's supposed to actually, be glycemic or something like that. It actually says it's actually doesn't spike your blood sugar, so it's good for diabetic or something like this. But why put it in there? Screw that crap. Now, if you read stevia is some crappy ass shit. If it was pure stevia, it probably wouldn't be so bad. But they can actually put freaking fake ass sugar in the stevia, and they don't have to tell you about it. That's freaking aspartame. You have to be an idiot to take that crap. You listen to what Kevin Trudeau told you about aspartame in his book. You can check out Kevin Trudeau. He's got an audio book, or read the book and find out what he said about aspartame. They can put that shit in the stevia if they want to, and they don't have to tell you, as far as what I know. So why put it in there? It's already got sweetener. We don't need no more freaking stevia. We don't need no freaking agave. Okay? And so other than that, this one's, all they got to do is take out that stevia and the agave and the natural flavors, and we're good to go. It's good, and it uses like 40 times less sugar. Okay? So they can even run this up, they could put a lot more natural sugar in here. That's no problem. It's only got 9 grams. It's only got 9 grams, where the other crap has like 50 grams. Okay? Of sugar, because they were poisoning your ass. So they can make it taste good. Okay? They've even got some that doesn't have any sugar at all. I'm still drinking them, but the ones that have a little bit of sugar, they should have twice as much sugar, I think, like the Poppy. There's this brand called Poppy. I drank all the Poppies already. They're a little bit expensive. And this one is $2. Now, if you want to just say, F these mofos, dude, and get something that's real good, okay. This, if they clean it up, that's a step in the right direction. That's pretty cool, because people are used to just pull this open, and when you're eating some tacos or whatever you're eating, right, some Chinese food, and you drink your cold soda, you're used to that, which the Asian culture probably is on the right track, because they drink hot liquid with their food. It's better for your digestion. But still, it's difficult to get off the sodas, right? And so you can drink this, and it's, sweet. But in the meantime, in between time, if they don't get rid of this freaking stevia, which could have freaking aspartame in it, right? Just pay an extra $1 and get yourself some kombucha, right? Kombucha is absolutely good for you. It tastes like a soda. You get the berries, the ones with berries in it, and it tastes sweet. They've also got guava. Guava's knockout. And so they got all kinds of different kombuchas there in Walmart over by the produce. But this stuff's getting pretty damn good. And it's actually a probiotic soda. It's pretty damn good. But they put that crap in down at the bottom. And they don't need to be doing that crap. They're putting in the stevia and the agave. Okay? You see how they are? Okay, but so far it's pretty good. And you can tell. I could tell a freaking diet soda a mile away. It's nasty. I could never stand diet soda. It's a nasty taste to it. And you can taste that. And I think it's coming from the stevia. I think they're putting freaking aspartame in there to poison your ass. Even though it's the last ingredient, right? But yeah. So contact them and tell them to take that crap out of it. Okay? It's called Poppy root beer. When root beer could actually be very, very good for you with all the roots they use. Whoever invented this was a freaking genius. Whoever invented root beer, the stuff they used to make before 1960. I read online, some people are still making it the old way, homemade, with all these different herbs and stuff. Okay, so As for the, oh, sorry, I forgot to turn this off. As for the pickles, you know, I said these pickles are awesome. They are really, really good, but it's loaded with all kinds of garbage in here. Um, I guess the calcium chloride is okay. Okay, I don't know, but I guess it's okay. But they got so much other stuff in here. Sodium benzoate. That's got to be garbage. I guess it's I don't know. Natural flavors, right? That's no good. Polysorbate. That doesn't sound good at all. Potassium metal sulfite. Another one, right? Just the list goes on and on. So I bought the organic brand. Okay, the organic will cost you basically twice as much. So these are like 250 or 250 or 250 or 267, something like that. I lost my receipt. And the organic are like 450. But I bought the organic, and it doesn't have all that garbage in it because it's organic, and they're still good. Okay? So I ate one or two or three, but um you can tell if something's good if you eat it right away, right? So we'll see. Still got a couple days. And so um okay, so that's that for that. So now we'll move on to some social stuff. Okay. So um social stuff. Before I talk about the social stuff, getting back to this movie for the people who are not really real smart. Okay? There's people that are smart and people that are not that damn smart, right? Your A students, your 4.0 students. Okay, for the people who are not that smart and you watch this movie, you will miss this is America Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo. You will miss the whole, in my opinion, you will miss the whole plot if you don't understand a certain word. Make sure you understand this word when you watch the movie. Okay, this is called sugarcoating. Okay? Make sure you know what the word pernicious means. Okay? Because that's the kicker for the whole movie. Okay? Make sure you know what pernicious means. Okay? I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Pernicious means freaking evil, freaking thieving, sneaky, underhanded, devil freaking ripoff fraud. Okay? I'd give you the legal definition. Let me check right here real quick. Okay, just 1 second. And then we'll talk about the social stuff. Wait. Okay. Here we go. Pernicious. Having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Okay? That's the definition for it. Having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. So it's something bad. Okay? I don't remember saying it that way, but I guess my different definitions. Okay, so now when you watch the documentary America Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo, moving on to sociology, okay, people's behavior. There's two girls that I saw last night. Two smart college students. This thing's locking up because I moved the phone. Let me put it over here in the window. Okay, that should be better. Okay, there's a new channel. Now it's crapping out. Okay, so it's back up there now. Okay, so yeah, so there's on your YouTube, vertical live feeds, these girls came out there, and they're college students, and well, I want you to check these channels out, because there's something going on with it, and I'll tell you about it here in a minute. Okay. And but before I talk about these two college girls, smart girls, they got their masters in business and masters in some other kind of bullshit, right? And so before I talk about that, let me talk about this. You know how there's all kinds of people who proclaim to be on the side of righteousness, right? They're like fighting, speaking truth to power. This is what everybody's saying these days. They're fighting for, they are supposed to be the underdog, right? They're fighting for fairness, for social and economic justice and equality. Basically like Martin Luther King was doing, right? So you have all these different people. You have different whistleblowers and whatnot and what have you. You have people with their own platforms, people with millions of subscribers, people with not so much subscribers, and people like me, shade tree YouTubers, right? I'm using that like, people say shade tree mechanic, like homegrown YouTubers, homegrown civil rights activists. And they're supposed to be for fairness and equality, for social and economic justice and equality. Yet, not one person, none of these whistleblowers, none of these activists or people with these social platforms talking to people about, inequality or justice, not one of these persons mentions the documentary America Freedom to Fascism, the biggest oppressor in the nation. Why do you think that is? Not one of them even mentions Aaron Russo and his documentary that exposed the biggest oppressor in the nation. And if you don't believe it, then read the book that I told you, The Creature from Jekyll Island, and you will be a believer. Okay, because it's got the names. It's got names, all documented facts of the people who are the biggest oppressor, the biggest scam that's ever been perpetrated on the American people. The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin. Okay? Not one person mentions this. Don't you think that's odd? Okay. So, these girls. Now, this is for educational purposes. This is from the Freedom of Information Act, not Freedom of Information. This is the Copyright Act for educational purposes. Okay. This is critique. So it's not defamation of character, it's not libel, and it's not slander. It's just my opinion of the behavior on these YouTube channels. So these two girls, I see them, and they're making a YouTube video last night. And they were cracking up. They were making some matcha, right? And I don't know if they were getting high off the matcha, right? But the one girl, she was like freaking, she was having a good time. And so you can tell that they have money, but they're acting like they don't have money. I can't afford a Tesla or this and that. That's what they were alluding to. Yet, one is getting ready to fly to Europe, right? And so you know they got money. And so the one girl, she had real nice hair, like the Asians do, the ones who eat a lot of seafood, right? Their hair looks silky. And the other one had frizzy hair. And the one with silky hair was Asian. She looked Asian. And she was happy. She looked happy, or she's a very good actor. Okay? And they're in basically where all those actors are. So it's a possibility. And but she kept cracking up, laughing, and you could tell she was smart, right? They were both smart because they kept it on point. They weren't distracted by stage fright, which also becomes suspicious that these are probably actors. Okay. And but who knows? They might be just regular college people. And so the one, she said, always referred to her boyfriend as my man, right? So there's something going on there. Okay? Because that's odd to always to your boyfriend as my man. And so, you know, if you've listened to Arundhati Roy, she's a civil rights activist. She was persecuted over in India because of her activism, right? They treated her real bad, Arundhati Roy, and they don't want you to listen to her. I'm still trying to find that one. I should have never erased it from my Facebook. I erased it from my Facebook, and now I cannot find it. You can find some that are similar to it, but it's not the same one. That one was charged with spiritual energy. It was like she was a conduit for the spirit. And but anyhow, they've got one over in Harlem that's kind of like it. It might even actually be it, but they took parts out of it. It's not the same thing. The dude doesn't introduce her with the green hat. And so, anyhow, Arundhati Roy says her theory is that there are more than two genders. Okay? And Arundhati Roy is spelled Arundhiti. Arundhati Roy. Roy. She's an Indian social rights activist. And she wrote a book. She's on YouTube. You can check her out. But I think that's what's going on here, because I'm starting to see people, and you can start to see that they are not the gender that you think they are. You check it out for yourself. It's starting to get kind of strange. I don't think it was like this, 30 years ago. I don't know what's going on, but there's something strange going on here. But let's keep an eye on this channel. The one channel, I forgot her name. I took a video picture of it. I've got a picture of it. But the other girl, her channel is called Genuine Lee. Lee is spelled with one E. Genuine Lee. Okay. So the other person that was there with her, I checked her channel, okay, to see what's going on with this, because this is weird, because they're not acting like other people. They were not stage fright at all. And they were genuinely laughing. Okay? So this, in my mind, I'm thinking people are copycats. They mimic the behavior they see others doing. All these new people who are coming in here and taking advantage of this video live stream, right? They're watching the people and they're copycatting their behavior. So these two that were on last night didn't have any stage fright. Virtually none. And if the people see this behavior, they're going to start copying it. Right? This is very, very subtle, but it's going to change the whole landscape, the whole essence of these YouTube vertical live streams, because right now everybody's acting like a bunch of freaking goofy is all F. They are freaking goofy. And these two were not. So I'm just want to follow this because I think it might be Hollywood. You can follow that one girl. I don't remember the other one's channel, but I took a photo picture of it. And I went in and I checked her channel. And it was all members only, members only, members only. So why was it not members only last night? When all the other ones that she's done before, it's all members only. So it might be Hollywood. I don't know what kind of spin they're, right? But this is something we need to watch. Okay, so that's all I've got for today. Bringing you up to speed. Thanks for leaving comments. I know there's some dumb comments, but oh well. Signing out. I'll keep you more tabs on the progress with the electric vehicle. I'm going to be commenting on that. I found out that this place that I've been charging 6,000 watts for free, that's like $6 worth of free energy charging that I've been using these things. It turns out that the company that I said that went out of business did not go out of business. And it turns out that the one over at the police department in Huron, California, it probably does work. Okay? And I'm going to go back out there and try it because I'm telling you, this whole freaking thing is so freaking goofy. Okay? But it turns out that that one that's out there in Huron is Electrify America. Okay? And Electrify America didn't build that structure that's out there. The company that built that structure is this company. This structure that's here in Avenel, the one I've been using, is called, what is it called? It's called, I know it's global something. Beam. It's called Beam, which is kind of a not that good because when people think of beam, they think of satellites. This is beam. They're talking about beams from the sun ray beams, right? So they should have probably named it something else. But anyway, this company here, Beam, built that structure. That's their patent. It's identical to one they have at the police department in Huron, California. But it doesn't say Beam. It says Electrify America. They bought it off Beam. Beam is the one who makes them. Okay? And they're self-contained. They're not hooked up to anything. It's just a device that comes over and sits down. Doesn't take up any space, parking space. Cars can still park in that whole parking lot. It's all self-contained. It has batteries in it. Okay? It has batteries. They're up on that thing that's up on the top. That's where the batteries are. And it's got the inverter. It's all self-contained. And this is remarkable. Okay? And they're all over the United States. You can have one out in the rainforest in South America. You can have one in the Sahara Desert, right? But guess where most of them are? Most of them are in New York City. Okay? So I'll be talking to you all about this, and I'll be telling you how effed up everything is right now with these things. They need to straighten up and fly right. It's a freaking mess. It's a freaking joke. Okay? The gross negligence that's going on with these things. I'll be talking to you about it later when I get over there and start charging the vehicle. Okay? So stay tuned. Signing out from Central Valley here in California.